Okay, so we all have our disagreements with our other half sometimes, but I think Book and Burnham have taken it to a whole new level by actually having like a full-on space fight with each other. Hi, I'm Phil, welcome to my channel where I like to talk about all the geeky pop culture that I like and consume things like Doctor Who, things like Red Dwarf, things like Star Trek, and we are here to review the latest episode of Star Trek Discovery, episode 9, called Rubicon. There will be spoilers in this review, so if you haven't seen the episode, go away, watch it, come back and see me afterwards. I sound like a teacher. Come and see me afterwards. Come and see me after class. As expected for a serialized show like Discovery, we're picking up where we last left off, so Booker and Tarka have gone off to destroy the anomaly, the DMA as they're calling it, and Burnham has been tasked with stopping them, basically. So that's the kind of situation we're in. There's a tracker on, Burnham planted a tracker on the fuel that they're using, so they can absolutely find out where they are, so they do that. Now, obviously, it's perfectly reasonable that Starfleet would have some concerns that Burnham might be a little bit too close to Book, might not make the call she needs to make, so they insist on having someone there who can basically take over command if they feel that Burnham is compromised in some way and not making the decision she should. Enter Commander Nom. Non? Can't remember how to pronounce her name now. I clearly misremembered something because in my head, and I know that I'm wrong now, I'd completely forgotten that she had come to the future with them and then at a later point decided that she was leaving to go see, pursue see what her family had ended up in this future and what her own planet was like. I'd completely forgotten all that. And in my head, she was still in the 23rd century, 22nd, 23rd century, whatever century they're from. So it was quite a surprise. Like when I saw the publicity photos of her in it, I was like, isn't she in the past? Has she time travelled? But no, she's there. She's now joined Starfleet Security. They kind of a bit gloss over why she is back in Starfleet and didn't stay with her family. They kind of hinted it at the beginning and then do address it at the end, but I kind of feel like that's maybe there wasn't space for it in the episode, but I kind of felt like they didn't really do much with her as a character in this. She served a plot purpose to be an antagonist in some ways, even though they're friends, to be that kind of like, oh, is she going to take over command at any point? Kind of danger for us and tension throughout the episode. But beyond that, she didn't really serve much of a character purpose. They could have done more with her, is what I'm saying. It was obvious they were going to actually come into conflict at some point in the episode, because otherwise there would be literally no point in being there. So even though they're friends, that kind of... It was always going to be like tense having somebody on the bridge, even if it hadn't been somebody we'd known. But there's this added element of them being, colleagues who have worked together closely, friends, that you think, okay, well, she's not going to do it unnecessarily. However, throughout the episode, I did kind of feel like she was questioning Burnham a lot of the time unnecessarily. Like, at moments, she's there to make sure that Burnham isn't affected by their relationship, and that she does not make a call that she should make because of Booker. But Nom does seem to step in and question Burnham in situations where Burnham's decisions aren't affected by Booker. They're not things that she's not doing or doing because of her relationship with Booker. There are things that Nom just disagrees with in terms of a tactical point of view, which doesn't seem to be her remit, but yet she does it anyway. So I did wonder if they were just sticking that in there to sort of ramp up the tension between the two of them. The first attempt at getting to Booker, though, they do find them in the thing, is to send a shuttle over, but with Tarka having installed an extra security system that Booker didn't know about, they almost die, and they only just beam them out. I did like while they were going over there was just a little bit between the two helmsmen there about their differing opinions about what Booker was doing, and I liked how Saru handled that. It was kind of like respectful that they had their differing opinions and didn't try and imply that they shouldn't have those opinions, but not to, they're on a mission and they need to concentrate and follow orders, and that they should not be letting their personal views affect them following their orders. And at the moment the bickering was, so to keep it out of that particular situation. Very reasonable response from Saru that doesn't impede on, their personal freedoms to have those opinions, but also is aware that, there's a time and a place, and that wasn't it. That whole mission where they almost die, that was very tense, and obviously Booker doesn't want, when he finds out what's happening, he works with Discovery to get them free, and so that they can beam off. So that was all very tense and exciting. It's a very tense episode. There's lots of moments where they're building up the tension. It's tension about whether or not Non's going to take over command and go against what Burnham wanting to do. It's tense in these moments where people's lives are in danger. And then there's the, are they or aren't they going to, there's the space battle where they're firing warning shots at each other, and then Tarka hits the button and fires a volley and almost, actually hurts people. And then there's, getting it to the are they going to destroy the DMA or not, or is Discovery going to stop them? And in the background of all that, we've got the Booker and Burnham relationship stuff going on, because again, they're adversaries, but they still very much care for each other, but they're on the opposite sides here. I like the way they use each other's knowledge about each other's past and what they've done in the past to kind of try and outsmart each other, but they also both care enough, not just about each other, but Booker cares about the crew of the Discovery, and when Tarka takes action that will potentially hurt the Discovery crew, either that, whether that shuttle almost got destroyed later on when he fires the volley of, when Tarka fires the volley of plasma torpedoes at Discovery, or just generally at the end when Tarka does beam the explosive device into the DMA, Booker staying steadfast and saying, we're not leaving until we make sure they're safe. It's also, I think, important for Booker's character that he does agree to wait a week when Burnham delivers that data and says, look, we're absolutely positive this isn't moving on, this DMA is not moving on from this area for another week, because it needs to mine all of this whatever mineral it's mining. They found out it's a mining ship, basically. A mining ship that doesn't care about its collateral damage. And he agrees to wait a week, but Tarka does not. So that's at the point where Burnham and Booker have come to this agreement, come to this compromise that they will wait a week. What I didn't understand is why he'd agreed to go aboard the ship, because no matter what Burnham wants to do, no matter how much she intends to honour and let him go after that week to do whatever he wants, her orders will be to stop him no matter what. So what would she have done if, the Admiral had ordered her to, hey, not to let him go again? So I don't think that him agreeing to go aboard was a good idea on if he wants to achieve what he wanted to achieve. But the compromise was good, and unfortunately Tarka doesn't go for it, and while Burnham's sort of defences are down, before she can stop him, Tarka beams the explosive device into the anomaly, blows it up. The Discovery only just makes it out in time. And it was kind of all for nothing, because not only does Tarka not get his power source, which he wanted to get back to his own universe, but another DMA just appears right in the same position. They've now done this aggressive act towards whoever are controlling the DMAs, and they've not achieved any of their objectives. There's still a DMA going around. Tarka didn't get his thing, and now who knows? Now they've got to rush to try and make first contact and explain that they just destroyed this out of, I guess, fear for their own lives. But hopefully they can come to an agreement. Will diplomacy win out? Who knows? But I'm getting more invested in this DMA plot as it goes on. I was very lukewarm about it to begin with. It kind of felt very similar to previous seasons in terms of the story beats. But I'm interested to see what they do when they make contact with this race. That will be, I think, the key point of whether or not I decide how much I like this story arc or not. What happens when they make contact? But it's been an interesting chapter of this story arc. Now that's kind of over. The whole Booker and Tarka going off and doing their thing has been a kind of 3 or 4 episode arc. And that's, I guess, over now. Because what are they going to do now? They've tried to destroy it and it hasn't worked. We'll see. What did you think of this episode? Let me know in the comments below. I'll be back for another review. I might not be able to do next week because I'm on holiday, but we'll see. And either way, I'll be back for a few episodes' time. See you then. Goodbye.